Okay, let's go. Hey, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Unrealistic Expectations. I'm your host, Amber, and today we have three guests. We also are talking about motherhood. A lot of people have their own opinion and viewpoints on it or how they think it should go, and so many people write so many books, and they're nice. They're really nice reads, but they're not realistic. They're really nice reads, though. So I want, today we're going to share a little viewpoints, different opinions, different methods and things like that. Also, what it's like to just be a mom. We have a guest who's a teen mom. We have a guest who has a 3-parent household, a stepdad and the biological father. And we have a guest who has the biological father and the life. And so it's a 2-parent household. So with further ado, please introduce you guys yourselves.
Hey y'all, hey royalty. This is Relly Habibi.
Hi, I'm Paige. I have 3 kids.
Hi, I'm Trinia. You can call me Bear. I have 4 kids and I do have a stepdaughter, so I have 5 children.
I had to mention I had one son, one and done. His name is Josiah Legend. Yeah, sorry.
And I'm a dog. My baby name is Cash. Okay, so let's start. What is it like being a mom?
Ghetto.
It's an experience.
You know what? I have so many friends that have kids. Like almost everybody I know has kids. I'm like the last one, and people be like, "Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because if you feel like you want a kid, just take mine. You can have mine for like a year.
Can have one of mine.
Just don't do it." But I feel like the world says motherhood is such a great experience and it's so awesome. Like how y'all seen with the Roe v. Wade law, like they're pushing to stop abortions because motherhood is supposed to be such this beautiful thing. And
I mean, it's
I do
beautiful.
think so. I agree with that.
It's like unconditional love.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, it's very ghetto. Like it's different stages of motherhood.
what's the stages though?
Like infant is like, oh, I'm so in love. Like this
That's
is my
when
baby.
they can't do nothing and they
Yeah.
smell good. They still got the fresh out the oven
Absolutely.
smell.
But then you got that teenage stage.
But even then, when you having your newborn, it's a beautiful thing, but you still have to struggle, especially with postpartum. Some women's postpartum experience, like mine, I was in a dark place, so it depends, on how bad your postpartum was too.
Now, see, my postpartum
I couldn't
didn't
connect
start
with
as
my
an
son
infant.
at first. Yeah, at first I couldn't connect with him because I just lost my grandma, and that was my second mother. So it was like death on top of rebirth. So I was in a dark place, and it was just a lot going on. But it's the best hood to be in. I know that.
No,
I love my son. I do
Absolutely.
enjoy it, but it is ghetto.
You know what? I feel like a lot, like people know about postpartum, but they don't really know what postpartum is. Like everybody just thinks postpartum is a depression. Some people go through postpartum and they're not necessarily depressed. They could just be like in a hole. It could be just like a lot of like past pain, like
It's a
the
sense of feeling alone.
phantom pain. Like they feel like they're still going through labor, but they're not. Like they're
Absolutely.
not going through
I
it.
feel
Like it's a
like
lot.
people forget with postpartum, it's like a sense of feeling alone. It's like a sense of feeling like you're not enough. So you're not necessarily depressed. It's more so like, how can I be better for this child? And sometimes when your child is crying, and all kids don't, cry a lot. Like my daughter didn't cry a lot, but I was paralyzed after I had her. So it's like, I can't even hold you and walk. I can't soothe you like your dad can soothe you, or I can't soothe you like your grandmother can soothe you. So for me, it was more so like, I'm not doing enough as a mom when I was going through my postpartum. But she was an excellent baby. So
I guess I'll share my postpartum. My postpartum not even randomly started. I had my son, I was 19 years old, and I decided to strictly breastfeed. Mind you, I had a C-section. This is my first kid. I'm scared to tell, so that I end up having a C-section. I let the doctors talk me into it anyway, but nevertheless. So once I took my son home, he was jaundiced, like yellow. His bilirubin levels were high, and I needed to get them to where they were supposed to be. So I was supposed to give him like baby formula, and with them wanting me to give him baby formula, with him sleeping all the time, and me just wanting to breastfeed as a new mom, thinking that the formula is gonna kill him when it was just helping, that sent me into a straight depression. My son was sleeping all the time. I was crying because he was sleeping. He won't wake up and drink off my boot. Like I was crying because of that. So literally within between the first 3 months of having my son, we was living with my grandma in the back room. We would stay in bed. I never left my room. My grandma would cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. But it was literally just me putting my son on the boob, turn over, go to sleep that way. He wakes up, we go to sleep that way. I change his pamper right there in the bed. Didn't have to do nothing the day I had left anyway. And it was literally just the same thing over and over again. Me just in the dark, in my room, crying when my son don't wake up. And we just turn side to side, changing his diaper.
And I feel like people like they don't. I feel like people don't give up moms enough sympathy for postpartum because it's not something. It's not always visual. Like just like any other depression or any other mental struggles, it's not visual. It's very like I can look like I'm okay,
Right.
but not be okay.
Right.
And I feel like, especially with like being a mom, you're always supposed to be the main one. You're supposed to be the main parent, the main provider, the main everything.
I think that's false.
And that's so corny.
Because
That's
everybody's
just
so
narrative.
different.
Yeah, I hate that narrative. I feel like
so
dads
corny.
should have just as much responsibility as moms.
Yes, they
Yeah.
should. And the
Yeah.
fact that they don't, it be like, why don't y'all pressure men to have the same amount of responsibility?
Because women are supposed to be the strong ones. If you notice, it's always strong black woman. It's
Baby,
never strong.
I am tired of being
Yeah.
strong. I am trying to enter my gentle girl
Absolutely.
area. I want you to take care of me.
No,
You
let
sure
me tell
right.
you-
I want to be a housewife and stay in a house and not do a goddamn thing. You sure
was-
right.
I wanted to add to your story. You know, my son. I didn't even mention my son was in the NICU for 2 weeks, and as a first time mom, that was also played a part with my
Girl.
postpartum.
I guess we all had some sick
he was
babies.
in 2 weeks. He had to get surgery at 5 days because he had. So you know how your baby has to pass that meconium
Right.
poop. He had obstruction in his intestines, so he had to get surgery at 5 days. And I just think a law because he didn't have to go home with that bag, and like most babies were. Had to go home. He had to get surgery, and it was successful, so he can, pass bowel movement and everything. But that, on top of everything I was going through, was like this.
Was a lot.
You supposed to go home with your baby after a certain amount of days, not to the NICU for 2 weeks and seeing other sick babies. It was a lot. Like,
And here's
So
the
you know what I
thing.
hear the
That-
most? I always hear that the crying, baby's just crying and you can't sleep. I hear that the most. I hear that the most. You were lucky that your baby wasn't
My
crying.
son
wasn't
wasn't. Neither my son nor my daughter was crybabies. They
Oh, you
both
was
was
lucky.
like
They came
and
on
they slept
silent
all
mode.
night. Yeah,
They came on
But
silent
my
mode.
daughter, she didn't poop. So she was one of the people that got Botox injections. One of the only people in America, like Philadelphia, and Chop never seen nothing like it. She, till this day, she has a problem pooping. Enemas don't work.
She in history. She in the
Yeah.
history book.
Wow.
She
They
famous.
couldn't believe it. They
She's
was
a
like,
Guinness.
we gotta get this few month old baby Botox. And she got Botox until she was about 3. That was 4. That was the last time she got Botox. And she stopped breathing on me twice.
Wow.
And because I was paralyzed, I couldn't get to her. So I lived in the hospital, but I felt comfortable because Chop was like taking good care of my baby.
yeah.
But they thought I wasn't feeding her. So
This what resilience look like, y'all.
For
Like,
real.
these 3 ladies right here.
The more we talk, the more I love.
Y'all testimonies. Yes.
But before we get off the subject, I just want to mention what people don't know about depression, whether it's postpartum, whatever kind of depression it is, unless you deal with it, you're not going to get over it. Like my son is about to be 11 in January. I'm still depressed. Till this day, I have a new husband. I have a new child. Like, I'm happy in my life, but I
you
am
still have those
still
dark
depressed. And I
moments.
didn't know that I didn't know about depression being that bad until I got pregnant at 6. When my baby was 6 months, my first child, I got pregnant with his sister. That was the same father. And I was still depressed, even after her. And then I had another baby, maybe 3 or 4 years after that, the same father. And we were together, like we were legit together. We were, doing the damn thing together. And I was still freaking depressed. And it was so hard to deal with it. I never want people around me to know when I'm not.
okay.
Oh, fuck. Here come the tears. I never want people to know when I'm not in a
okay.
good mental space.
Right.
Before, I never could channel it or even understand what was wrong. But now that I'm so, beyond that, I know when I'm mentally off. Like when I first came in, I told you. So I tell my family, I'm not okay mentally right now. I'm mentally off. However,
I
it just
definitely
don't
feel
go
like
away.
More people should say that. I feel like more people should be honest to tell their friends or family or partners, like, hey,
Absolutely.
I'm not okay. It's not you. It's not nobody. I just need some time.
But what
to
comes with that,
myself
people are
to
like,
get myself together.
let me help you. But I
Or
don't
it's
want
the
that.
you're strong and it's gonna be
Like, you
okay.
can
Or,
do-
you know what it is? Or it's the, you'll be all right.
Right.
You get, pray about it. Oh, my God. Y'all told me to pray about one more goddamn thing. We gonna rumble, okay?
Y'all gonna be praying over a
Like,
body.
I
They
am
don't
praying, but I'm
understand
still
it.
depressed. I am
Yeah.
praying,
And
and
people
I'm still
don't know that's
hurting.
not really positive.
Like, I'm praying
That's
about it,
kinda
but
like
baby, it's not
negative.
realistic.
Yeah, it's not realistic and
It's
not
like I feel like
positive.
you're not paying attention to me telling you that I need help.
That's why
Right.
people don't talk about it.
Right, right. That is definitely, yeah. Yeah, let me get to this question. Okay. At what age did you guys have your kids? And how did that experience how did the experience differ, I guess, amongst you guys?
I was old.
What is old?
I'm saying old because I'm
What is
30 and I feel
old?
like I'm old.
I'm
Don't you-
33. I'll be 34 in April. I had my son when I was 29.
That's
going
not
on 30.
old.
It's not old.
Compared to like
the-
around everyone
but I
else
don't-
and some of my
Don't
friends.
compare.
Well, look, don't
That
compare
was
me because
young,
I got pregnant
baby.
at 16.
That was a good
Yeah.
time.
And I had my son at 17, and with my daughter, I had her at 27,
Mm-hmm.
26. I had her at 26.
And
You're the lion.
wait.
You know you got a lot of kids when she's over here like,
Let me
Wait.
So I got pregnant at 18, and then I had my baby at 19. I had a baby at 20. Had a baby at 23, and I had a baby at, how old am I? I think I was 25. Yeah, and it was different every time. Like I thought I was good getting pregnant at 19, but then at 25, I'm like, no, this is when I was supposed to get pregnant. Like I don't know
I don't think
what she
neither
was
age.
doing, but
Ooh.
I think the earlier the better.
Yeah,
Some people,
I think
you
so
know,
too.
I hear that often. A lot of people say the earlier you get pregnant, you'll still have the energy, and then by the time you're like in your late 40s, 50s, your kids will be grown and you don't got to worry about them. But then there's a lot of people I know that's like, I'd rather have my kids when I'm stable and established,
So
which
let
is
me say
normally
that.
older.
I
Yeah.
disagree. I don't feel like it has nothing to do with financial I feel like when you are ready to have a baby, have a solid partner.
That, yo, and that's how I
Definitely.
feel.
I don't care about the
I
money.
agree with that.
I don't care about where you're
It's about
at in life.
your support team.
If
Have
you
a solid
have
ground support
a solid
team.
partner, whether it be male, female, whatever the case may be. If you have somebody that's solid and it's like it's about you
Yeah.
and this kid, y'all
Yeah.
can take it anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't care if
Yeah.
you got $20 in your pocket. That $20 gonna get you and your baby somewhere because you got a solid partner.
Yeah.
And
And
when
they
you
not
are
gonna let
having
you
a
fall.
mental break, they over here like,
Come
my
on,
partner,
yeah.
come on, lift it up,
Word.
lift it
A
up.
partner
If
though.
you don't have somebody solid,
Word.
it's gonna be hard no matter which way you look
I
at
agree
it.
with that.
Word.
I always felt like, there's never like, older people be like, wait till the right time. There's never the right time because you can plan and plan and plan. The shit is never going to be the right time. You're like when you're a mom, you're really creating your own people. We're creating little people out here that we want to be good people, but we really don't know where they're going to go. Like,
Right.
Or what they're gonna be like. Because
Yeah,
you can
like-
be filthy rich and you can birth a child that has one arm, one leg.
Yeah.
right.
And you was never ready for it.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not all of them, but I'm pretty sure some people who have kids that are serial killers or murderers, they didn't raise not all, because most of them have fucked up backgrounds. But there are some who were like
Right.
really went hard for their kid, but their kid still turned out
Shows
to be
something
this
different.
It's
person,
true.
and they're just like, I don't know
It's like
where I went wrong.
look at what we dealing with now. All these 13 and
Yeah,
14-year-olds and
people
the
like-
parents is
The city
crying.
of Philly is a prime example.
Oh,
prime
my
example
God.
of how that worked. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
That's a whole nother conversation because they talking about this curfew thing again. And I'm like, y'all had this curfew out when I was 16 and it didn't work then. It's not damn sure not going to work now. Like,
It's been a curfew forever.
Yeah.
Have we ever not had a curfew?
And they're getting killed at 10 a.m. now. So what's
the
So that's
difference?
what
What's
I'm
the point?
saying. They doing stuff in broad daylight.
Afternoon
What
at the
does
bus
it-
stop. Like,
What does
in
it
the
matter
gas
anymore?
station,
Like,
the bus
they
stop,
waking up
the school
tomorrow
yard, the
in
church.
school.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just sad.
You know
sad.
what? That's another topic. Okay. What is the relationship like with the fathers? That's always a fun question, right?
Don't
I
y'all-
feel like that's always
don't
a fun
y'all all speak at once?
conversation.
I guess I could go first.
Okay,
You
you
wanna go first?
I could go.
That's always a fun conversation.
Now, my relationship with my kid's father, the first dad, because he's the only person that I'm going to refer to. My last child father, that's my husband. Well, that's all my kids' father. So my children's birth dad, my relationship with him is shitty now. We can't talk without him bringing up. Anyway, I left him for my husband. My husband now, he's been my friend forever. I lost my virginity to him when I was 15 years old. He's always been the greatest guy to me. He's always been the kindest. He's never disrespectful to me. He's the shit. So my kid's dad, he's been intimidated by him when he first found out about him. So I ended up leaving him for my husband now. But anyway, it's shambles. It's shit. He can't get over it. He can't get over me being with my husband. He
If he
hates
those
it.
egos.
He hates my husband takes great care of my children, all of them. And now they're coming around to be like calling him dad and stuff. They're like, it's okay for me to call him his dad. But the real dad, he can't stand me. He can't stand my husband. Anytime we talk, he's bringing up things that I went through with him. So I got to talk to his girlfriend in order
Our story
for
sound
something
like
to be
girl.
resolved.
First off, I commend her for even being like, all right, listen,
I love
I'm going to
her.
try to mediate
She's
this
very
because
kind.
it's clear he's in dick. I'm going to try to do better for you
And I'm a
guys.
sweet girl, and he knows that. I get along with everybody. There's no reason for me to have
He just
any
wants to
animosity
cause
towards
problems.
anybody. And if it do, I don't have to talk to you.
Do you think he still got it bad for you? That
Girl,
what it
he
is? He still
loves
love
me.
me. That's what it is. Our
His
story's
girlfriend
similar.
even be like, you always bring her up. You always bring Trinity up. Why wouldn't he bring me up? I mean, I'm a great person. And I don't need to toot my own horn. Anybody that come around me can let you know, I'm different. I'm different. So he lost something. And, sucks. And I'm still willing to be kind to you all the time. I'm still willing to be there. Like, he was homeless and I was trying to get him in my basement. My husband was like, fuck no. But, like, that's just the kind of person I am. I don't care what you do to me. It's nothing in the world that's going to make me so angry that I can't talk to you again. We got kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would love to have a regular relationship where I could just talk to him randomly and we could just have, like, that conversation. But we can't because he's going to always bring up, like, he'd be like, well, we could have had a family, but you wanted to be where you at.
Sir,
okay.
let it go.
And we
Baby,
happy.
let it go.
And it's
Let
great.
it go.
And I still would never look back your way, buddy.
Listen.
Like, but if he can, we could be buds one day. But
Not Neil.
not my fault.
My son's father is nothing bad. We barely talk. He's not really in my son's life. He pop up when he wants to, and I'm a strong believer in when you want to be a dad, go for it. And so my son say no, it's cool. My daughter's father, we was best friends. So, of course, stuff happens, and we separated and came back together. Separated, came back together, but it's cool.
That's good.
It's cool. It's good that my daughter get to see both of her parents, like, love each other. We try to, even when things are bad, we try to make sure she sees us, like, loving on each other. Like, oh, I love you. Have a good day at work.
Right, that's good.
Little things like that. They ain't always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
That took some time. Because I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Really? Thank God for time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I ain't
Hey,
see
how
it coming.
about
I
you?
ain't gonna lie. I ain't see it coming.
Okay, here we go.
This question is just too good. I'm gonna try to keep it simple and short, but me and you have a lot of similarities because my husband, my son's bonus father, has been my best friend since I was 11 years old. We had our own experiences and everything, We decided to get in a situationship a couple of years ago. I wanted more. He didn't at the time. That was that. That's when I met my son's father and I got pregnant. Fast forward, he left when my son was only 7 weeks because he always felt threatened by my best friend. But mind you, Lasine, my husband, is such a man. He never once overstepped his boundaries. He allowed my son's father to be his father. But if I need something, that's when he was there for me. If he coming, right? Because when me and my son's father split up, it was just, he didn't care about me and what I was going through and the postpartum and all. He just wanted to get his son, and I respect that. I can't take that from him because he always showed up for his son. But when it came to, taking care of me, who gonna take care of me? When you got our son, when I got our son and it's not your day with him, but I gotta get to the grocery store. I ain't got no car. I got laid off and facing eviction. I'm a struggling entrepreneur. I'm getting laid off. Like, who taking care of me? You not trying to. But I still got your son.
This is our child.
It's still our child. So I think a lot of times too, that message gets lost because I'm a strong believer that we don't even gotta be together for us to co-parent, but we still should make sure each other is. We're good. We're good
At the end of the day,
for the child.
We're raising our child.
No matter what happened to that, I used to make sure he was okay. So you can be good for our son. Some people lose that because of the arguments and the bitterness and all that shit. But long story short, I'm able to co-parent with my son's father. And always been good. Even to this day, it's a little shaky because I think he still feels some type of way about me being with my husband. But we done moved on. He has another daughter now. My son has, a baby sister, which is great. He loves being a big brother. My husband, everybody think that's his dad, but that's how it should be. It's not his biological father, but that is his father. Like, everybody think they're like, wait a minute, because they don't see me with no one else since the beginning. It's always been my husband. Always been my husband and my son.
And their
That's
father.
Yeah. I really be
That's how it
telling
should be.
people, like, if you got kids and, like, you and the dad not together or whatever, they got a girlfriend that's trying to help or a boyfriend that's trying to help. Please do. I would love if I had kids, and that was my situation, and the girlfriend like, I just want to help. Sis, Well, bring it in.
Come
Bring
You
here.
it
said you
in.
wanted to do her hair. I don't know how to braid.
I got you.
Yeah,
No.
like-
I would bring all the hair
No.
supplies. You need the grease, the comb, the brush, everything.
Let's
Go
be
ahead.
honest.
Never allow
Like,
nobody to touch my
And let me
kids'
say
hair.
this, my
But I
daughter
don't
hair
like
is
the
natural.
overstepping of the boundaries. I will say I had to pull up a few times because
Now, see, I
people be
didn't-
overstepping their boundaries a little bit. Now
I don't
that's
really
something I don't
have
like.
that problem.
Okay.
I ain't never
I
had
feel
that
like
problem.
Okay.
I'm such a strong person in the beginning. You're gonna feel my drift, and my kids know how I'm coming behind them.
Right.
Every
So
time.
if me and her dad was to never talk after the day, I guarantee if he got a girlfriend and my daughter said she coughed on me wrong, she's never gonna have that problem again.
Right. I know that's right. I know that's right.
I know
Ever.
that's
Yeah.
right. Well, this question leads into the final question. How has being a mom affected you guys mentally? I feel like moms don't get enough credit. Let's be honest. I feel like
Ooh-wee,
moms
that's a
don't
good
get enough
question.
credit for anything, for being there. Like, y'all gotta take off. Sometimes y'all gotta take off from work to do appointments, go to schools,
Yeah.
go to trips,
I
go
have
do
quit
this,
my
go
job.
do that, and it don't be enough credit given. And people think being a mom sometimes is a trend, especially now. I think, especially now with this
That's
generation, I
good.
think they think it's a trend now to
Yeah.
to get pregnant early and be a
That's
mom.
so good.
That's not cute. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong, but babies is having babies, and y'all not ready to be a parent. So it's really just a fucked up cycle of trauma. Y'all don't know how to be a parent. Y'all still dealing with shit y'all parents probably did to y'all when y'all was
Absolutely.
younger, and now y'all gonna take it out on this child because y'all think, oh, I just want somebody to love me. Don't have a kid because you want somebody to love you.
put it together
Have
so
a
good.
kid because you are like, okay, I'm ready
Yeah.
to share this love I have. Not because I need somebody to love me. I want to have something that's mine. You're ready to like share this love and create. Like, we're really out here creating people. Like,
People.
we're creating
Yeah,
people.
people,
Like,
right.
that should be taken so much more serious than it
Yeah,
actually
like
is.
y'all don't know they can be serial killers.
That's
Like,
what we're really like.
please know what you
We
got.
are really creating people. Like,
Yeah.
our village. The more kids you have,
Like, they
you
running
create
the
your
world.
own village.
Yeah.
Take that serious.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Amber. Like this question is a little emotional for me when it comes to mental, just protecting my mental space. Being a mom for me, it was hard. Only cause like my mom died. She was 26 years old. I was about 4 or 5. So for me, my anxiety shot through the roof when I outlived my mom. Cause I'm 33, but I had my son, and I just be like, I don't want nothing to happen to me. Like something happened to my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like, I don't want to die. It was so bad last year. Like my husband had to calm me down, like because of my thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'll be thinking something gonna happen to me too, like my mom. You know what I mean? And then, so for me, mentally, it's like I gotta basically speak more like positive things about it. That speak to myself and say I'm gonna watch my son get old. I'm gonna watch him get manifest a year. You know what I mean? Like his outcome is not gonna be like mine. You know what I mean? So that's all I had to say about that. But it can be draining just overall because you still want to be who you are too. And a lot of us mothers sometimes lose our identity. Like we all the shit. We ain't gotta stop being the shit just because we had a kid.
right.
You know what I mean?
Mom
so I guess
first, bad bitch immediately second.
that part that way, just like that. So it's just the balance, you know.
I think that's really important to have a balance, like when you're a parent, because I feel like being a parent, yes, it's a full-time job, but you still have to be yourself because you lose that balance, it can get very, very, very bad. Not just for you, but for the child as well. Because some parents, like at least from things I've seen and stories I've heard, when they don't have their own identity anymore, they're just a mom, they're just constantly providing, they start to resent the child and take that out on the child, which creates a child to grow up and be, I'm gonna kill everybody, like shit like that. Like, so it's really important to find that even middle ground and still be like, I can be my own person, but also be a mother for this person that I'm creating.
Yes,
I feel like that's really, really important.
I feel like lately motherhood has been like dark for me. I don't have that balance. It's like I'm working. I come home, I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta make sure they got this together. I gotta do doctor's appointments. I had to quit a job. Like now I'm doing Amazon Flex as well as my mental health job. And like the day before my birthday, I was on the phone with my best friend, crying at him, telling him like I can't be here no more. I'm either have to check myself into a hospital or y'all gonna be finding a body. It was that dark for me, and it was supposed to be like the happiest day of my life because you're about to be 31, and it's like these teenage and toddler years at the same time.
Oh,
I
y'all
feel
gonna make
it,
me
I feel
cry.
it, I
Stop.
feel it.
Y'all
When I
gonna
tell
give me
you,
the
love.
waterworks.
it's
gonna
already
be
written.
okay.
You hear me? You
That's
gonna-
the whole point of this
You hear me?
podcast. I want people to know that you're not alone
Okay.
with your struggles. That's the whole
Listen,
point of me
It's
doing
already
this.
written, baby.
You're gonna be okay. It's so many other people out here that share this, that's going through the same thing, that has the same story, and that's exactly like what y'all just witnessed is exactly why I'm about to cry now too. It's exactly why I started this podcast. Like, it's so many things people deal with, but you don't see it, you don't know, or it don't look like they're dealing with nothing. But it's so many people that's going through the same exact thing, but it's not shared enough to give people the strength or the motivation to keep going. That is exactly why I started this podcast. So that way people know, like, I'm not alone. Like, damn, when I'm going through, it's other people
Right.
out there. And even just with, y'all guys know when I post my podcast and share my podcast, I tag the people that's in them. I tag their Instagrams. If y'all want to create your own community or make new friends or reach out for help, I tell people all the time, my DMs are always open. If I don't know you, come talk to me. Trust me. I could write like 5 books on half the shit I've been through. Like, trust me. Like, even with, no, I'm not a mother, but relationship with me and my mom or me and my family and father and things like that. My DMs are always open to anybody that feel like they need help. They on the edge. They on the verge. I'm on my friend's personal therapist. Even though I need to be in a psych ward my damn self, I'm on my friend's personal therapist. So trust me.
But that's
like,
hard too, because it's like if
Oh
it's
my
not my
God.
kids pulling, it's like my girlfriend's pulling, or my daughter's father's pulling, or my son's father lately has been pulling. So it's like I'm getting pulled, but who can I turn to, or who can I run to? And I had a conversation with my 13-year-old son today, and I was like having to tell him, like, you're hurting me.
That's
And that's,
another
like,
thing. People
uncomfortable.
That's an awkward conversation, but some people that is a
I think
thing.
he had to hear it, and I had to tell him, like, you don't know how many times I cry, or I'm sitting in my car for hours because I don't want to come in the house because it's like I'm in hell.
It's not that I don't want to be your mom and I don't love you, but
It's hard.
You're making it harder,
Very
for
hard.
me
Like,
to be a mom.
I was sick all week, and only person that came to check on me was my 4-year-old. If I go, she running in the room. Mom, are you okay? She's patting my back. She's rubbing my head. She's 4. You're 13. We grew up together. How can you not even come in the room and say, are you okay? Her father, how
Let
can
me,
you not say, am I okay?
Let me chime in, right? Only because I like to get different perspectives of things. And hearing you talk, since you walked in the door, you're just the strong woman. Who wants to be strong all the time, right?
Nobody,
But that's
'cause it's
you.
ghetto as hell.
That is you. That is what you've shown. And that is what you've shown your family. Your son only knows his mother to be strong. He doesn't know a weak bitch at all. You ain't that. His father or anybody else may be that, but he ain't never seen that from you. So
right.
he ain't gonna expect that.
Right.
So for you to be sick, you probably feel like you was looking sick and shit. He ain't never seen that. So he probably don't even know what that looks like. He ain't seen that. But your baby being 4 years old, they probably seen it a little more than he's seen it because he's so much older, and you had to be even stronger when you had him. You was 16 years old. So that baby is seeing something different. Now you're loving on that baby different, which means that baby is loving on you different. So that 13-year-old, sometimes you just gotta learn how to talk. And your child is young now, so you gotta learn how to talk to them and be open with them so that they can acknowledge when you're different or when you're not feeling good.
You in your season.
It's
It
really
was a
more-
challenging time for you, and
that's-
you're just so strong. How he supposed to know his mom ain't strong right now?
You know what? I can definitely relate to that because, like, growing up, my mom was the shit. Like, I'm not gonna say we didn't have a good relationship, but my mom didn't show me, like, go with me to get my first bra or none of that shit. Like, so I didn't have the nurturing mom. I had the mom that make sure you got all the shit you need.
Yeah.
Make sure these lights stay on and there's food in this motherfucking fridge. Had that mom. I had a provider. I wouldn't say I had the best, like, hands-on mom, like, nurturing and help me do homework and tie my shoes and da-da-da. I didn't have that. I didn't have a girly mom. I didn't have the mom most girls want growing up. So for me, like, it was like I would expect certain things or think, oh, this is how things are supposed to be. And once I got older and realized, like, oh shit, okay, no, this ain't right. Like, because I'm thinking when I get sick, for instance, when I get sick, I just keep fucking going. Da-da-da. It took for, like, me to be around some people like, oh, you need to rest. I don't know what it looks like to slow down. My mom is
mom's
so
working all
down.
the
My
time.
mom kept
told me,
going.
I gotta keep going.
I don't know what it looks like to stop. I could be fever on 126 or some shit. Damn near need to be in the hospital. I don't know what it looks like to stop, and I struggle with that. And also coming from a kid looking at my mother, I had to force her to tell me when she needs help. Because she won't say nothing. She never had. So at like older, like all her kids are older now. We literally have to like not yell at her, but kind of be like, say something. Tell us. Like we won't know if you don't say nothing. But she just feels as though I'm the parent. I shouldn't have to. Even with us being in our grown ass age, she feels like I shouldn't have to. But that's a problem because we can't know something's wrong if you don't tell us something's wrong. Because you'll look like you got it all together. You don't.
See, I didn't have that. My mom, I didn't feel like she protected me. She married a man that molested me. She married a man that abused me and then put me out. And I ended up living with my aunt. So that's one of my biggest fears, having a girl. I was devastated to find I was having a girl. Because if me and this dad don't work, I can't date. I can't marry somebody else. I can't be with somebody
That fear
else.
of me, like, I don't want to
Because
bring
if you
nobody else
touch
around
my child, I'm not my mom. I'm going to kill you.
That's right.
Y'all not going to get the, oh, he's in jail for rape. Y'all not going to get that
No,
cry on
he buried in the
Instagram.
ground 6 feet
Y'all going
under
to get
with a
that. I
rose
might.
bush on top.
Yeah. So that's like one of my
Pretty, right?
biggest
Nah, he
fears.
gonna
Like
have
I
to be
always
cremated.
want my kids to feel like it's, and especially for my son because it's not his dad. I want him to always feel like it's my kids first.
Yeah.
I gotta
Always.
choose my
That is
kids
important.
first.
Always.
That's very important.
So like that's one of my biggest struggles with being a mom is I'm always like mama bear, like, oh, not my child. Like so it's hard. And it's like even to this day, like having a relationship with mom is very difficult. It's like we can talk a little bit and then we're like clashing. And even when it comes to my kids, we're like clashing. It's like she feels like what she say is right. I feel like what I'm saying is right. You can't tell me how to be a mom because I don't feel like you was a mom to me.
Right.
Right.
And it hurt her to
right.
hear that. But I had to be able to like, Mom, he told you he was touching me. And it was like you still didn't believe me. It's like you didn't want to believe that. You were so excited to be married that you forgot that you was a mom too. So like I try, like it's in my head all day long. Like, you know, I have to make sure that my son feels loved by by my daughter's father. I have to make sure my daughter feels loved by her father. Because if this don't work or if we can't exist, I'm gonna have to be by myself. I don't get to be, you know,
And I know
that
that
bad
has
bitch
to
immediately
be,
after.
that has to be a heavy burden to hold. Like it's not only is that anxiety, that's also past trauma. That's also it's like just flat out fear. Like fear comes with a lot. Like it's a lot that comes with it. Also having to accept the reality. Like yo, if this relationship don't work out, I'm putting pressure on this relationship because I need you to be the man I want you to be because you my last hope. But also like I can't be with nobody else. So having to deal with that feeling of when it like having to possibly be lonely or isolated or like it's so much packed into that, and like those are things that people don't notice, things that people don't think about that you're thinking about or dealing with. And I'm pretty sure those aren't just one-off thoughts, those are consistent thoughts that cycle in your head that live there every interaction every day.
When she's in school, when she's with her uncles, and you know, even when she's with her boy cousins, kids experiment, kids learn their body, and it's like, you can't hurt my baby. And not saying that boys don't get touched on because it definitely happens, but it's like these men prey on these girls.
Yeah.
And my daughter like craves male attention, so like she doesn't get the lovey-dovey from her dad because her dad treats her like a son. So like my best friend and like my brothers, like they get like she gets so excited. But what happens when it's a stranger? Or what happens if it's, let's say that we all out for lunch and we on a play date and she runs up to your husband or your husband and she's like, hi, and she's excited. She's looking for that attention that she's missing at home.
You know, that's interesting because I didn't get the male. My father, he popped up when he felt like it. So I didn't get, and I have 2 older brothers. I'm the only girl. I didn't get the like male attention as of like when I was a child either. Like I got it from other people, which is why I started having sex early because as soon as I got like a little boy, it was like me or was telling me he loved me. I was fucking running. The only male attention I had was my grandfather. He died when I was very, very young. I was still in elementary school when he died. Like, so after he went, it was fuck over. My brothers was teenagers. They was outside. They wasn't like, so it was just, oh, he think I'm pretty. He like me.
And that's
I ran. And it's like that, like, when I was younger and growing up, I didn't think about it. But as I got older, I'm like, ooh,
baby, we gotta unpack this. 'Cause what the fuck is this? This got to go.
Yeah,
Like,
but it happens often.
It does,
And it's
happen,
always
yeah.
covered up. Like, the guy that touched me, he walks this earth till this day. Like, nothing happened.
And that's sad, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. Also, that like
You
I
didn't
don't
deserve
want to
that.
use the term "fail," but that your mom wasn't there for you like she should have been, because
Mm-hmm.
that story is too familiar, especially in the fucking Black community. I'm so tired of hearing that story. In the
But I
Black
want you to
community.
know that I'm. You didn't deserve that, and you not your traumas. You not anything that happened bad to you doesn't
Not gonna
make you.
happen
It's,
to you, right.
it's not going to happen to your kids, and it don't make who you
It
are.
doesn't
You know what I'm
make
saying?
Not at all.
And
Like, you
same
are
thing
so
with your
much
kids.
more.
Yes.
You
I
are
be
so much more than that.
Girl, you so decent.
And
I
that is
only
the
know
best
for
you
12
can
seconds,
do.
and
All
I
you
love
can
it.
do is try. That is the best you can do. We are not fucking superheroes. We are average, regular human beings every day. The best you can do is try and give your best. That is all you can do. And that's enough. You know what? That's gonna be the quote of the day. Do not quote. What's the affirmation of the podcast? I am doing my best, and my best is enough. And that's all that matters.
Period.
Can we say that together, ladies?
I am doing my best, and my best is enough.
There we go. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another episode.
I just was I was so happy to throw mine up. I was like, wait, are we all really gonna
Like,
we created
done did this before.
we created a family already, you guys.
Y'all,
Thank
we
you
30s.
so much for
y'all
joining
really
me.
acting your age.
This is awesome.
I can't wait.
Bye.
This one of your best episodes.
Y'all about to listen. We up.